1, 2. Is this on?
Spear, spear, spear. Bring it back. There's a spear. Spear, spear. Oh, there's a gore! Spear.
The spear is visually one of the best looking moves in wrestling, as few maneuvers are as devastating as running full speed and charging shoulder first into the midsection of an opponent. The effectiveness of the spear has led to it being a go-to move for numerous big names in wrestling. The origins of the spear are rooted in American football, as the move derives its name from the tackling technique known as spearing, where the player charges into an opponent leading with their shoulder pads. Such a collision generates as much force as a 35-mile-per-hour car crash. But as long as the contact comes from the shoulders and not the helmet, both players will generally get up from the tackle unscathed, since each of their pads help absorb the impact. The fact that an on-field spear was able to look so vicious, despite being safe if executed correctly, made it very adaptable to professional wrestling, as pro footballers had already been making the switch to wrestling dating back to the likes of Bronco Nagurski, Dick the Bruiser, Wahoo McDaniel, and the Big Cat, Ernie Ladd. But the first person to bring the spear to prominence in professional wrestling would be former Cleveland Browns and Cincinnati Bengals defensive tackle Walter Johnson. Johnson wrestled to make extra money in the offseason, and when he delivered the spear, he did it with as much force as if he was still on the field. His opponents didn't like this though, and Johnson ditched the spear as a finisher in favor of the bear hug. Other former footballers like Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Steve Mongo McMichael would use loose variations of the spear.
Watch this shot, fam. There we go. First and 10. Oh,
as did Tatsumi Fujinami in Japan. But 20 years after Walter Johnson used the move, we would finally see a version of the spear that lent itself better to pro wrestling, this time being performed by another ex-NFL defensive lineman, Bill Goldberg.
He goes, "What's your finish?" I said, "What?" He goes, what are you going to do at the end? It's got to be big and powerful. And I'm like, okay, I'll figure it out. And I look at Manny and I go, "Manny, do you trust me?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "Well, when it comes to the finish, just tuck your chin and spread your legs and kiss your ass goodbye." Man, I ran him over like nobody's business, got to the back. Everybody was standing there like, "Whatever you do that every single time." I'm like, I just did a football tackle.
crystal clear, white Sanders, book this man.
Goldberg would burst onto the scene in WCW, quickly racking up an incredible win streak, which was in no small part down to his excellent use of the spear, as he mowed down opponent after opponent. It was the perfect maneuver to match Bill's intensity, as he was like a car running wrestlers over every time. The spear was an easy choice as one of his finishing moves, given his football background.
Get away, Jericho! For the love of God!
Goldberg was a runaway success in wrestling, winning the WCW Championship in under a year. Meanwhile, the spear attracted admirers such as Edge in the WWF and Rhino in ECW, who both began using the move in their matches. Rhino's gimmick already borrowed some aspects from the animal of the same name, so the next step was to turn the spear into the gore, as the man-beast looked to decapitate his opponents, as he found new and unique ways to hit the move. Edge would also find ways to reinvent the move, eventually making it his primary finisher, while also borrowing the setup spot in the corner from Goldberg and Rhino. This built suspense for the move and signaled to the fans that the end was near.
Edge understood that the longer you made the audience wait, the better it was going to be.
Edge would benefit from Goldberg stepping away from the ring, as the rated R superstar soon became synonymous with the spear, as it helped him win countless world championships.
619! Spear midair!
We would also see Batista and later Bobby Lashley arrive on the scene during the Ruthless Aggression era, both looking to make the spear their own. Many others had also tried their hand at using the move, including the likes of The Big Show and Big E. We even saw some women using the move, such as Charlotte Flair and Caitlyn. The move was so popular because it could be hit from anywhere, and it could be made to look like the most devastating move in wrestling history.
Christian, grab that chip!
But by 2013, many of the big guns using the move had left. Edge was retired, Batista had quit, while Goldberg, Lashley, and Rhino were long gone from WWE. With the spear not currently being used by anyone in the company, it was time to pass on the move to another former football player, Roman Reigns. Reigns would enjoy a meteoric rise in the WWE as part of the Shield, eventually breaking out as a singles star, where he would win many big matches with the spear, which became a strongly protected finisher for Roman.
Lower leg of his. Oh, that's clear! He broke him in half!
and this has continued up until this day, as it's rare to see anyone kick out of it, as Reigns sits at the head of the table in wrestling.
Reigns with another spear in survival mode. Cover for the win. He got him.
But throughout his journey to the top of the WWE, we've seen the likes of Edge, Goldberg, and Bobby Lashley all return. And just like Roman, they continue to use the spear. And no matter whose version you prefer, it's always a crowd-pleasing moment at any time it's hit, as the fans will always buy it as a finish.
Put this away quick!
The spear may have originated in pro football, but we'll remember it for being one of professional wrestling's greatest moves. And that brings us to the end of this video. As always, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Also, be sure to check out our other videos in the series, such as the history of the super kick. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.